Hey guys, it's Jimbo's Grapes here with another tutorial video. This is one that I've been meaning to do for a while. Um, I want to show a tier 1 cheap fit, cheap setup for doing taps. So that's these right here. I'm going to show off doing two. One, I'll talk through it as I go. One, I'll do it without explaining so you can see it just in the flow. And then also what you need to do in order to continuously do taps and kind of the setup that I have, all the equipment that I use, and I'm going to be doing a complete rundown of how I do these and basically how I became to be a billionaire in this game by doing almost majority from taps. Um, yeah, like they're just insane. They're insane for getting EP. They're insane for getting research. Although there are other methods for doing research, and again, I'm going to talk through all this stuff. But yeah, just the EPU gain is substantial. On my accounts that I trained them up to 500,000 EP in 2 weeks. It was from doing taps. So 500,000 EP in 2 weeks, playing about an hour or two a day. I was getting anywhere from 40 to 60,000 EP per day from doing the taps. Okay, but that was with a pretty good setup. You won't be getting nearly that much from a tier 1 fit echelon. I had all tier 4 gear and I had the works. So yeah, so don't expect to be making, don't expect to be making 30, 40,000 EP per hour, because that won't happen with a tier 1 fit echelon. But you will be able to get to that point starting from doing this. Okay, so the taps, what these are, they spawn waves of enemies. I'm going to go through the entire process here, but just what they are is they spawn 10 waves of enemies, 4 to 6 bots. A level 1 will spawn tier 3 enemies. So that's your arbiters, your rank 3 for the blue, and then for the red, I don't know, I'm blanking right now. Whatever the red tier 3 is. So they spawn tier 3 enemies. Level 2 will spawn tier 4 enemies, and the level 3 tap will spawn tier 5 enemies. So I'm going to just talk about the level 1 light taps for now. Later on, I might talk about the level 2s and level 3s. I wouldn't recommend doing level 2s. Basically, it's the same risk for doing level 3s and you get more stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend doing level 2s. But level 1s are really good because they're extremely easy and you get common kernels from them. One tap usually gives around 5,000 common kernels and around 2,500 to 3,000 factional kernels. Now when I do this on a setup with a proper setup, level 1 taps usually take me anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes from start to finish to when I'm starting the next tap. So to put that another way, in order to do 10 taps, to do 12 taps, it'll take me an hour. I will be able to finish 12 taps within an hour. So if you do the math, in an hour, I'm getting about 60,000 common kernels and about 30,000 factional kernels. That's how I've been able to essentially complete my research tree, was from doing these. There's other stuff, again, I'll talk about those in a bit, but you need a bit more better setup. The really, really nice thing about the taps is you can do it with an extremely cheap, low EP fit and do it very reliably with little investment, and then also with little risk, because you have little investment. So losing a bot like this shouldn't set you back that much. You should be able to get a setup like this with some decent ease. So this bot right here probably in total cost me about the bot itself is about 8 million with current token prices. This is all stuff that you can farm by yourself, just doing harvest missions, combat missions, whatever it is that you like to do. 750 tokens, 4 million nick. All the equipment, every single thing, is about 100 to 200,000 nick each. So there's 14 pieces of equipment, so you're looking at maybe 4 million tops. So 8 million nick, 750 tokens for one of these. Now, I'm doing this with 4 accounts, and this is more for safety reasons and also for convenience reasons. You can do it with one. Like this bot right here, I soloed it by itself without any support. So this bot right here, I was able to solo a tap by itself without any support. I will be making a video on that later, but just to say that, you know, you don't need 4 accounts to do this. I like to do it on 4 because I can run 4 and it's extremely convenient to do it with 4 and it's faster. And if you can do something faster, you might as well, right? I find doing it with 5 accounts. Usually if I have a 5th account, I'll just put it in a sequer with a remote sensor amp in order to leech extension points gained. I don't like to do it with 3 DPSs because so the way that I do this is I'll alt tab between my accounts in order to lock. In order to alt tab between 3 accounts, it's a little bit more tricky. So I just don't like that because it's a little bit inconvenient. Anyways, back to this fit. So what I've got, machine guns, tunings, 1 sensor amp on this guy, and I'm going to get to that when I show you guys my Logi, 1 universal plate, and then all weapon stabs. Now, I've got fairly good skills on this guy, and I'm still only at a 6.7 hit dispersion, so some of my shots are going to miss. In order to guarantee hits, usually you want around a 4 hit dispersion. Anywhere between 4 and 5 is typically good for hit dispersion. So again, if I show you guys this bot, the hit dispersion is 5.6. This was, again, I had to put a little bit more resistant armors because I was soloing. If I show you guys this bot, the hit dispersion is 4.8, and I pretty much never mess with this one. So between 4 and 5 hit dispersions where you want to eventually get to, but for the purposes of a cheap fit that's all tier 1 that you can just buy straight off the market, this is going to be about where you're at. Now again, keep in mind this is a really high EP character. Now I don't have great skills into Syndicate, but all of this turret skills I do have fairly high, so you might be a little bit higher than this, and your damage might also be a decent bit less because I've got Advanced Robotics 10. So on my second bot, I'm running 5 tunings. So first bot's got 1 sensor amp, second bot's got 5 tunings, and my third bot, my Logi bot, the reason for that is because I'm using a Teramis. It's only got 3 miscellaneous chassis slots on it. So the chassis slots, I'll just put this up because I'm going to talk about this next. It's only got 3 chassis slots on it, so I can only give 3 sensor boosts. In case you don't know, a bot can have up to 2 sensor boosts, whether that be active or remote, local or remote sensor boosts. It can only have up to 2 acting on it at once. So I've got 2 here for one bot, 1 here for the other bot, which is why I need the 1 sensor app in order to get those 2 sensor boosts per robot. Then the other thing I have is I've got 2 shield guardians, 2 shield hardeners, a shield, and then just accumulators and a sensor amp, and then you can also fit a coprocessor in here in case you need it. Otherwise, you can throw another shield hardener in there. Another thing you can do, I've got 2 medium remote reppers. You can have 1 small and 1 medium, and then fit another shield hardener or an armor tuning. I'm just going with this because it's just what I have on me. Again, you can buy all this stuff. Even a small armor repair is usually enough to sustain against a light tap, especially if you're killing decently fast. So yeah, even a small, and then if you cycle through and do a little bit of active stuff with your Logi, then you just tap the medium armor repair sometimes. That's more than enough to sustain against a light tap, a level 1 light tap. Okay, next thing is my hauler slash Nexus bot. So again, I've got a coprocessor in here. The reason for that is so I can actually fit this without a coprocessor. Again, your guys' skills might not be as good as mine, so you can throw that into the head. You cannot fit 3 Nexus on one of these. Maybe you can if you really maximize your skills. I don't see it though. I don't know if it's possible or if you use tier 2, but there's not really many tier 2 Nexus modules on the market. So I'm using an Assault and a Lock Booster. Now, you could swap this out for a crit. I prefer the Lock Booster because the faster you lock, the faster you're applying damage. And in these, once you start killing the first couple guys, everything else starts to explode because of the splash damage on the beta islands. So I prefer the Lock Booster. You can also use critical. If I have a 3 setup, so my actual setup that I use is a Lithus. So with my Lithus, you can see I've got Assault, Lock Booster, and Critical Hit. So these are the 3 that I like. If I have to drop one, usually I drop the Critical because I find that the Lock Booster actually gives you more applied DPS over the course of a tap. Alright, so again, back to the Dialydus here. So this is my fit for this one. 360 U of cargo. Each tap, level 1 tap, drops about 40 U of loot. So if you wanted to do this for a sustained amount of time, you could do up to 9. I would put 8 in your bot, do 8 at a time, and then you'll have a little bit of wiggle room in case you need that. Now, another important thing in the Logi, have a couple of standard teleport beacons. Really, really important, because whenever you're done your session, if you're going through the anomalies, sometimes you'll have a really long walk. If you're doing this on beta islands, that can be dangerous. So you really want to have the standard teleport beacon so that you can just teleport right to those exit teleports and not have to worry about running around and running through observers and stuff like that or other players. So highly recommend putting 2 standard teleport beacons into your cargo. So these are the fits. Again, the 2 echelons, one with a booster, the Logi with 3 boosters, 2 armor reps, one can be a small, and then the highs and the lows for a shield fit. Another thing you can do is you can have a small repper and then have armor tunings. I don't really like that though because it just requires a bit more management, but again, it's up to you. You can fiddle around with this. Bottom line is the incoming DPS of a light tap is really, really not that bad. So you can fiddle around with this and you can try some more experimental stuff. If you don't want to fit into shields and you want to spec into armor, depending on what your future goals for your character might be, you can do armor tunings in the highs, and then I would probably say 2 small armor reppers and some resist plates for the lows. Okay, and then again, this guy, Lock Booster, Standard Assault, you can switch that out for the critical if you prefer that. Again, I prefer the Lock Booster. I think it gives you a bit more DPS. I haven't actually done really any tests, and if it is, it's a matter of a few seconds. So whichever one you like more. I don't know which one requires more skills, so even that could be a factor for you. You can just go with the one that gives you more skills. So I'm going to... I can't actually pause the video. So you guys will get to watch me walk out because I'm not going to pause the video and splice this together because I am really lazy. So while I'm walking out to the teleports, I will do a little bit more explaining. So all my guys are squatted together, as you can see. Now, how do you activate a tap? So you can do these on alpha. If you're with a group of friends, I would recommend doing this on alpha a little bit more because you have that DPS, you don't need the additional splash damage. But what you need to do is you need to find these things called teleport anomalies. So that's these guys right here. So you can see a level 1 teleport anomaly. So on the alpha island, you can use level 1 taps and only level 1 taps. On beta 1 islands, that's your Dom, Hawk, and Alsbale. Sorry, not Alsbale, Norhoop. So Norhoop, Dom, and Hawk. These are beta 1s. On these ones, you can use level 2 taps or level 1 taps. And then the beta 2s, that's your Novostrov, Kentagura, and Alsbale, you can use level 3, 2, or 1 taps. So, again, if you're doing tier 3 taps, which are incredibly profitable, they're insane, but they're a lot harder to do, then you have to go to those beta 2 islands that I mentioned. So I'm currently going to a beta 1 island because on the beta islands, in case you didn't know, they have splash damage. So whenever something dies, it actually deals a radius of damage around it based on its maximum armor points. So what this does is it allows you to kill an entire group of mechs, or sorry, an entire spawn, because they spawn right on top of each other, while you only really have to kill two or three of them, or anywhere between 2 and 4 of them. So if you get a spawn of 6 mechs and you kill 3 of them, the splash damage from those 3 that you killed will actually in turn kill the other 3 mechs that have spawned. And then also when you do splash damage, it does a lot of DPS, so then you don't have to do as much DPS to kill the next one, and it kind of snowballs a little bit as you progress through a single wave, where the damage stacks up more and more and more, which you guys will see right away when I show off how to do these. So yep, so other than that, another thing you really want to do is you want to have your landmarks and your targeting computer lined up the exact same with both of your DPS. I have it lined up the same on all my accounts just because, but especially for your DPS, because you're going to be going through and alt-tabbing and locking up really quick, and you need to be able to alt-tab and click in the same spots really reliably. So head over to Panox 2. Hopefully nobody's out here to interrupt my video and kill me, but I have faith that nothing bad will happen. Okay, so luckily we've got a couple anomalies right next to us, so we're just going to approach this one. That's closer. So major thing, you need to know your hotkeys. 100% need to know your hotkeys. You're gonna have a very bad time if you do not know your hotkeys. The default ones to approach is T, to interact is V, to main lock is R, and to soft lock is F. Okay, so as I'm going through and clicking, I'm going R F F F F F, R F F F F F. So it's like R F F F F F, alt tab, R F F F F F, alt tab, shoot, alt tab, shoot, and it just continuous cycle like that. Okay, so now that we're actually at the anomaly, I'll line up. You usually want to try and be on flat ground, so there's lots of flat ground around here, so I could really go in any direction. I'm just gonna go in this direction because that way that thing's not blocking me. I want to stay within 50 meters of this teleport. I line up, go about 90 meters away from this teleport with my next guy. I'll line up, target my secondary DPS guy with my hauling bot, so that, because whatever guy you drop the tap with, they take primary aggro. So they will typically take the brunt of the aggro, which means that they're going to be ECM'd more. So for my guys that I'm not going to be looking at, that are just there for support, I want them to be targeting my secondary guy, so that if my secondary guy gets ECM'd, I'm not missing out on any EP. Well, because my secondary guy won't get ECM'd as much. Okay, and then I come out, target this, and then once all my targeting's done, and I've got everything locked up and good to go, then I will start the tap. So, because I've got the tier 1 gear, the locking time, because of the interference, you see this orange bar right here, whenever you buy an anomaly, it gives you interference, which means you lock a lot slower. Okay, so I've got this one locked up. I will start shooting my rep at him. I've got these guys locked up. I have no idea how well this is going to work. Oh, I actually messed up already. I forgot that my one guy only has only gets one sensor amp. Okay, so I go armor rep, sensor amp, sensor amp, sensor amp. So now I've got my sensor amps on both my guys. If I look here, I've got 1 and 1. If I look here, I've got 2 on him. Now, we're ready to start the tap. So you go in your inventory. As long as you're 50 meters or less away from this, you can deploy the item. I walk up next to my second echelon. And now I make sure I have both of these clicked so that they're the first ones. And I go through. And just like this. Now, I like to kill executioners first for these green ones because they have the highest armor, so they do the most splash damage. That's a pretty simple concept. And there, you can see, how easily that was, right? One died, killed all of the other ones because of the splash damage. So we'll go through the wave. As you go through this, you'll start to discover which ones have the most armor. And like I said, I personally like to target those ones. But really, it's up to you. So I target highest armor as long as there's a good armor guy. So for green, that's the grunts and the executioners. If there's none of those, I target ECM next, which is marauders and alchemists. And if there's none of those, I just go in whatever order. So I probably will get ECM'd here, just because my DPS isn't that high. Oh, I didn't actually, so that's pretty good. And you can see on my squad window, Grapes has taken a little bit of damage. Kiwi's accumulator is going down a little bit. So what I might end up doing is... Oh, actually, Kiwi's accumulator is fine. Which one's Kiwi? Oh, that's this one. No, this guy's accumulator is fine. Okay, so that's no worries. Just don't even look at him. I don't even look at him. I just do my own thing. I know everything's going to be okay. I missed a couple shots there. That's okay. Okay, that one's dead. Go on to the Marauder, because Marauders have ECM, and I hate ECM. Everybody hates ECM. If you like ECM, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, so those guys are both dead now. Oh, there's another Marauder here. I didn't even target him. That's okay. These guys splash damage will get them. Again, I'm just going through, killing off the waves as they come. Another important thing that you're probably seeing I'm doing is when I have to go to the next target, I tab cycles through the targets, and then I hit R. So I tab R, and I'm just constantly cycling through. So there you saw I killed that guy. Didn't even go to my second DPS tune there. Just killed him with one guy. So again, having 2 DPS, not necessary. It's just a quality of life thing. It makes it go faster, right? So if you have the ability to, definitely recommend doing that, because why not, right? So we'll kill these halberdiers first because they have the most life. Where's the other halberdier? Take him out, take him out. Just going on our merry way. Everything's dead. I don't even have to shoot because I know the splash damage is going to take care of all of our worries there. And you can see I'm getting all the EP on this guy from my Nexus spot just because I've got that on there. Not worrying about anything. Easy, easy, easy. Following the damage of my other guy. He's dead. Less to take out on these guys now. They're dead. They're dead. Bada bing, bada boom. All dead. So, as you can see, this is with completely tier 1 fit stuff. I'm barely paying attention to anything, and I'm just slicing through this like a hot knife through butter. Killing the executioners first because I know that they're going to kill the heralds from their splash damage because they do insane splash damage because they have a lot of armor. And then that splash damage causes more splash damage, which allows me to kill faster, which does more splash damage, which, you guessed it, allows me to kill even faster. Alright, so I got grunts on this one. Grunts are really nice. They're pretty easy to kill and they do a lot of splash damage. They have pretty low resists, and they also have a lot of armor, so they're really, really nice to kill. So grunts and executioners, like I said, I always kill first. Then ECM, which is the marauders and the alchemists. As you do these, you're gonna figure out which ones are annoying and which ones aren't. Oh, there's some people there. Who's that? I don't even know. They're coming to say hi, maybe. I might have to bail. They're not friendly. What do they have? Artemis. Yeah, they might be heading over here. But again, I'm in these really cheap tier 1 fit bots. I don't even care. I don't even care if they get killed. I mean, it'd be nice if they didn't, but yeah. So he's coming over here now. I better get out of here. Oh wait, I don't want to take the splash damage off of that. Yeah, I better get out of here. So he's ruining all the fun. Let's see if I can grab the loot. Let's see if this is gonna work. Better turn off my modules. We got a party pooper. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, they got me demobbed pretty hard there. Where's Apples? Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can wrap him up. You know what? I think I'm just gonna take the loss here. I'll get out of here with most of my guys. So he gets to be in a video. Oh, he's got my Logi locked up now. I wonder if he'll be able to break the tank. Probably. There's a pretty good chance I get away with most of my stuff though. Okay, so we go to port K. So I was gonna show another tap, but I think that was a pretty good example of how this goes. And as you can see, I'm losing some stuff here. But again, it was a tier 1 fit echelon. I really, really don't care. And I should actually be able to get away here. Yeah, it looks, well, he's got decent DPS. It's gonna be a tight one. But yeah, like I said, I just got tier 1 fit stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to I wouldn't be able to fight that. But yeah, this is gonna be close. How far away am I? I don't really know exactly how far away you can get, but again, it's just a tier 1 fit Teramis. Even if I lose it, it's like, you know, I'm not that upset about it. But it looks like I'm gonna be able to get away with just the loss of one guy here. So we'll get out of here. So yeah, I lost one echelon there. Again, tier 1 fit, 8 million, or yeah, about 8 million nick. It's I probably got more than that just from this tap. So here's the loot I got. Again, you can see about 6,000 kernels, 3,000 pedestal kernels, and some reactors. So lots of fragments, lots of good stuff. And yeah, once you do this for a while, you get insane EP. So I'm at the max EP right now, but I'll just show you guys how much EP, how many bots I killed. And that was from 1935 up to 1940. So that was 5 minutes. Got all of this EP. So for you guys that have the 25 or, you know, a 20 times multiplier, these are going to be giving you 80 EP per kill, which is pretty substantial. Yeah, so 40 to 80 EP per kill. So yep. Now there was a couple other things I wanted to mention about progression. So the next thing that you want to be aiming for is, you know, obviously the tier 4 gear. Myself, I did not specialize too much into syndicate bots. I went right into like this character. If I look at it, my extensions, my my robot control for syndicate combat. Oh, it is actually kind of high, right? Because I got into the Legatuses actually eventually. So I eventually got into the Legatuses, but my weapon usage for kinematics, it's only at 6. So you know, it's nothing crazy. Yeah, just at 6. Yeah, my skills are going to be a lot higher than you because I've been playing for quite a long time. But you guys saw how easy that was. Even if you've got half the skills that I do, which is, you know, really, really easy to get to, you're still going to be doing these absolutely fine. So there's no worries on that part. I wonder if he's got his PvP flag up. If I wasn't doing a video right now, I'd probably be inclined to go grab a bot and kill him, but that's not the case. So yeah. And again, you know, the only you're gonna lose bots in this game. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. You're gonna lose bots. That's what you do. You play this game. You go kill stuff and you get killed. That's part of the fun, right? So go experiment. It's so easy to make nick. Do some harvest missions. Do some combat missions. Sell your tokens. It's so easy to make nick. Go buy some stuff. Go try it out and get yourself a ton of EP just doing this by yourself, because it's like I just showed you guys, it's so easy and you just got to get out there and do it. Now, last thing I want to say, where are some good spots to farm where you can use this setup and you can farm more things? So right here, there's a really, really nice indie spawn here. You can farm here. That just doesn't look right. I don't know why. Oh, I wonder. Wow, that's so weird. Yeah, so the passable terrain changes if you're not in a bot. That's so weird. Okay. Anyways, so there's a really nice indie spawn right here. So this spot right here has 2 scarabs, which you can kill at range and not even worry about the gargoyles. You need to have some accumulator stuff. There's no damage, so you don't need to worry at all about weapon stabs or about incoming damage. You need to worry about keeping your accumulator up and not getting ECM too much, because there's some gargoyles there with some nasty ECM. But you can just kill the scarabs over and over and over again, and build up some kernels that way. You don't get very much EP from it, but it's really, really nice for farming kernels. That's absolutely 0 risk. The only risk is losing some ammo in case you, or some time in case you can't do it properly. Over here, there's a insane spawn here. It's got 2 mechs and 2 heavy mechs. With this setup, you probably won't be able to do it. But if you do eventually get into some tier 4 or higher tier fit mechs or heavy mechs, the spawn here is insanely good. I get about 60,000 common kernels an hour, and a lot of high tech as well. So this spot's really good for farming kernels. Again, not the best for EP, but nothing's really going to be better than light taps for doing EP training. Okay, then all around the island there's a bunch of light spawns. You can always do those. And yeah, those were the 2 main ones that I wanted to talk about, was the Indie one and the Syndicate one. There's another really nice one right here, which you can do with this. The exact same setup you can do it with this. It's a light/assault Syndicate spawn, and it gives a ton of fragments, like so many fragments. So if you need fragments for industry or you want to sell them, there's a spawn right here that's also really, really good. Now, something that I forgot to mention previously that I definitely should have mentioned before: how do you get taps? That was definitely something that I should have talked about. So taps you get from the Syndicate market on beta islands. So if you're not in a corp and you don't have any friends, which I've certainly been there, I've certainly had to have that struggle, there is a neutral terminal on every single beta 1 island. So that's the ICS beta terminal on Dom. On Norhoop, it's down here. It's the Truehold Marksman beta terminal. This one's actually really easy to get to. It's got a nice teleport here, nice and close. So if you want to do green taps, which green taps are probably one of the easiest ones to do, there's a really, really nice, easily accessible terminal here where you shouldn't run into many players or any troubles trying to go there. And then on Hawk, it's right in the center of the map, the Asintec. Again, this one's a little bit harder to get to. It's quite a ways away from any terminals that are connected to the Hirschfield. So the Asintec one, again, I'm going to just straight recommend going for the Truehold Marksman beta and green taps to start off with, because they're easy. There's not a lot of ECM and they don't have a ton of resists. The red bots or the yellow bots have lots of resists, and the blue bots have lots of ECM. So I would say green are definitely the easiest to fight, because their skills are for shields, but for some reason NPCs don't use shields. So green, definitely the way to go for just starting out. To get green tokens, you have to do missions. This terminal right here has a lot of plants around it, so this terminal right here is really good for doing harvesting missions to get those tokens. There's a few other ones I don't really remember. I was doing this for a while. I think this one's good, and I think it might have been this one that's good, but the one that I was primarily doing for getting tokens was this one right here, Field Terminal. I'll zoom out a little bit. So Field Terminal in this top corner here. So you go to the Carapace in your Cronus or your Gargoyle or whatever you have, run up to this one, and all the plants are right close, right in here. So you can get a ton of tokens really easily from this terminal. And there's always going to be other terminals. I haven't explored that much. I hate doing missions, so I don't do them very often other than what I have to. But I was doing this one, so if you want to do that one, by all means. You know, it is a beta island, so you always risk death, being killed by a PC, a player, an observer, whatever it might be. But in order to get those taps, in order to get that profit, that's one of the main ways you have to do it. And it's really low risk and it's really high reward. You don't have to go out there with anything insane. You just got to go get those tokens. Okay, so I think that's about all that I have to say about taps. You guys saw the process. You guys saw the fits. You guys saw me lose something and not even care because it's a 8 million nick fit. And yeah, you saw how easy it was. So go get the bots. go get some more accounts, load them up, get some EP on them, get into those bots, and go start farming and getting more EP so that you can get to those mechs and heavy mechs that you really want to get into and fit them up well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a bit of a long one, but it is what it is. Oh, I should also mention, once you finish the tap, so this is what I wanted to show, but I couldn't because I got killed. Once you finish the tap, so that teleport anomaly, once you finish the tap, a teleport anomaly echo will spawn. You click on that and you interact with it, that'll bring you to another teleport anomaly. Then you can load up another tap once you've set up and you're about 90 meters away from the tap. Otherwise, you'll be hit by that splash damage. If there's observers or a red spawn right on top of you, you can simply jump through that teleport again and it'll bring you to another one. It might also bring you, it's got a 20% chance to bring you to the Omega Island. In that case, it sucks, but you just gotta walk back to where you were before. Okay, I think that's everything. If you have any questions, throw it in the comments. If anybody wants these bots, I'm never going to use them again. PM me. I'll give them away. All these bots with their fit. Hit me up. Send me a mail to in-game to Jimbo's Grapes. And yeah, do it quick because they will be gone. And I will just be deleting the emails after they're gone. So that's one Echelon because I lost the other one. One Teramis fit for Alogy right here. And one Dialysis fit for a Nexus bot. Hit me up and I'll give a couple of these away. Alright, thanks everyone and take it easy.